party will be left on the other side. This canoeing touches your gifts rather than mine, boy, though I will handle a paddle with the best Mingo that ever struck a salmon. If they cross below the rift, why can't we cross in the still water above, and keep playing at dodge and turn with the wolves?" "Because, as I have said, they will leave a party on the other shore, and then, Pathfinder, would you expose Mabel to the rifles of the Iroquois?" "The sergeant's daughter must be saved," returned the guide, with calm energy. "You're right, Jasper. She has no gift to authorize her in offering her sweet face and tender body to a Mingo rifle. What can be done, then? They must be kept from crossing for an hour or two, if possible, when we must do our best in the darkness." "I agree with you, Pathfinder, if it can be effected, but are we strong enough for such a purpose?" "The Lord is with us, boy, the Lord is with us, and it is unreasonable to suppose that one like the sergeant's daughter will be altogether abandoned by Providence in such a strait. There is not a boat between the falls and the garrison, except these 2 canoes, to my sartain knowledge, and I think it will go beyond red-skin gifts to cross in the face of 2 rifles like these of yourn and mine. I will not vaunt, Jasper, but it is well known on all this frontier that killdeer seldom fails." "Your skill is admitted by all, far and near, Pathfinder, but a rifle takes time to be loaded, nor are you on the land, aided by a good cover, where you can work to the advantage you are used to. If you had our canoe, might you not pass to the shore with a dry rifle?" "Can an eagle fly, Jasper?" returned the other, laughing in his usual manner and looking back as he spoke. "But it would be unwise to expose yourself on the water, for them miscreants are beginning to bethink them again of powder and bullets." "It can be done without any such chances. Master Cap has gone up to the canoe, and will cast the branch of a tree into the river to try the current, which sets from the point above in the direction of your rock. See, there it comes already. If it float fairly, you must raise your arm, when the canoe will follow. At all events, if the boat should pass you, the eddy below will bring it up, and I can recover it." While Jasper was still speaking, the floating branch came in sight, and, quickening its progress with the increasing velocity of the current, it swept swiftly down towards the Pathfinder, who seized it as it was passing, and held it in the air as a sign of success. Cap understood the signal, and presently the canoe was launched into the stream, with a caution and an intelligence that the habits of the mariner had fitted him to observe. It floated in the same direction as the branch, and in a minute was arrested by the Pathfinder. "This has been done with a frontierman's judgment, Jasper," said the guide, laughing. "But you have your gifts, which incline most to the water, as mine incline to the woods. Now let them Mingo knaves cock their rifles and get rests, for this is the last chance they are likely to have at a man without a cover." "Nay, shove the canoe towards the shore, quartering the current, and throw yourself into it as it goes off," said Jasper eagerly. "There is little use in running any risk." "I love to stand up face to face with my enemies like a man, while they set me the example," returned the Pathfinder proudly. "I am not a redskin born, and it is more a white man's gifts to fight openly than to lie in ambushment." "And Mabel?" "True, boy, true. The sergeant's daughter must be saved, and, as you say, foolish risks only become boys. Think you that you can catch the canoe where you stand?" "There can be no doubt if you give a vigorous push." Pathfinder made the necessary effort. The light bark shot across the intervening space, and Jasper seized it as it came to land. To secure the canoe, and to take proper positions in the cover, occupied the friends but a moment, when they shook hands cordially, like those who had met after a long separation. "Now, Jasper, we shall see if a Mingo of them all dares cross the Oswego in the teeth of killdeer. You are handier with the oar and the paddle and the sail than with the rifle, perhaps, but you have a stout heart and a steady hand, and them are things that count in a fight." "Mabel will find me between her and her enemies," said Jasper calmly. "Yes, yes, the sergeant's daughter must be protected. I like you, boy, on your own account, but I like you all the better that you think of one so feeble at a moment when there is a need of all your manhood. See, Jasper, 3 of the knaves are actually getting into the canoe. They must believe we have fled, or they would not surely venture so much, directly in the very face of Killdeer." Sure enough, the Iroquois did appear bent on venturing across the stream, for, as the Pathfinder and his friends now kept their persons strictly concealed, their enemies began to think that the latter had taken to flight. Such a course was that which most white men would have followed, but Mabel was under the care of those who were too much well skilled in forest warfare to neglect to defend the only pass that, in truth, now offered even a probable chance for protection. As the Pathfinder had said, 3 warriors were in the canoe, 2 holding their rifles at a poise, as they knelt in readiness to aim the deadly weapons, and the other standing erect in the stern to wield the paddle. In this manner they left the shore, having had the precaution to haul the canoe, previously to entering it, so far up the stream as to have got into the comparatively still water above the rift. It was apparent at a glance that the savage who guided the boat was skilled in the art, for the long steady sweep of his paddle sent the light bark over the glassy surface of the tranquil river as if it were a feather floating in air. "Shall I fire?" demanded Jasper in a whisper, trembling with eagerness to engage. "Not yet, boy, not yet. There are but 3 of them, and if Master Cap yonder knows how to use the pop guns he carries in his belt, we may even let them land, and then we shall recover the canoe." "But Mabel?" "No fear for the Sergeant's daughter. She is safe in the hollow stump, you say, with the opening judgmatically hid by the brambles. If what you tell me of the manner in which you concealed the trail be true, the sweet one might lie there a month and laugh at the Mingos." "We are never certain. I wish we had brought her nearer to our own cover." "What for, Eau douce? To place her pretty little head and leaping heart among flying bullets? No, no, she is better where she is, because she is safer." "We are never certain. We thought ourselves safe behind the bushes, and yet you saw that we were discovered." "And the Mingo imp paid for his curiosity, as these knaves are about to do." The Pathfinder ceased speaking, for at that instant the sharp report of a rifle was heard, when the Indian in the stern of the canoe leaped high into the air and fell into the water, holding the paddle in his hand. A small wreath of smoke floated out from among the bushes of the eastern shore, and was soon absorbed by the atmosphere. "That is the Sarpent hissing!" exclaimed the Pathfinder, exultingly. "A bolder or a truer heart never beat in the breast of a Delaware. I'm sorry that he interfered, but he could not have known our condition." The canoe had no sooner lost its guide than it floated with the stream, and was soon sucked into the rapids of the rift. Perfectly helpless, the 2 remaining savages gazed wildly about them, but could offer no resistance to the power of the element. It was perhaps fortunate for Chingachgook that the attention of most of the Iroquois were intently given to the situation of those in the boat, else would his escape have been to the last degree difficult, if not totally impracticable. But not a foe moved, except to conceal his person behind some cover, and every eye was riveted on the 2 remaining adventurers. In less time than has been necessary to record these occurrences, the canoe was whirling and tossing in the rift, while both the savages had stretched themselves in its bottom, as the only means of preserving the equilibrium. This natural expedient soon failed them, for, striking a rock, the light draft rolled over, and the 2 warriors were thrown into the river. The water is seldom deep on a rift, except in particular places where it may have worn channels, and there was little to be apprehended from drowning, though their arms were lost, and the 2 savages were fain to make the best of their way to the friendly shore, swimming and wading, as circumstances required. The canoe itself lodged on a rock in the center of the stream, where for the moment it became useless to both parties. "Now is our time, Pathfinder!" cried Jasper, as the 2 Iroquois exposed most of their persons while wading in the shallowest part of the rapids. "The fellow upstream is mine, and you can take the lower." So excited had the young man become by all the incidents of the stirring scene, that the bullet sped from his rifle as he spoke, but uselessly, as it would seem, for both the fugitives tossed their arms in disdain. The Pathfinder did not fire. "No, no, Eau douce," he answered. "I do not seek blood without a cause, and my bullet is well leathered and carefully driven down for the time of need. I love no Mingo, as is just, seeing how much